Good morning.
T minus 5 seconds. T minus 5 seconds.
T minus 5, 4, 3.
Oh,
What's going on, man? How are you?
I was just thinking, when I visited my son this weekend, I was like, Dad, you're getting boring. Boring? Like,
What
what
do
do
you
you want me to
mean?
do? Next time I come here, I'll prepare a song and dance number for you. And he's like,
He actually said that to you that you're getting boring?
yeah. And I said, you want me to prepare a song and dance number next time I come here?
Oh my
And he had like
god.
an evil laugh, like,
Two guys from two sides of the world. The Flip Side with Jay and Noel. Catch us live every Wednesdays and Sundays, 6:30 a.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Philippines. Now, your hosts, Jay and Noel. Yo,
we lied. Saturday today.
I know. We're a little bit early today, guys. Sorry about that, but I'm not going to spend another 10 minutes just trying to change that intro. Not right now, at least. Hey, listen, can I add something real quick? This really bummed me out. Can I?
Yeah, please.
I just saw this, and apparently Michael Jordan made $6 million for his first 6 years in the career, and now he makes $6 million every 8.5 days.
Oh, for what?
I don't know. Whatever. Just bummed me out, you know.
Wait, hold on. I was trying to look at the article. Did you take it out?
Oh, I
Or did I
did
press-
here.
Press the wrong button. No, because my screen's too small and I'm trying to zoom it in.
Yeah,
Oh, it
so
doesn't say
Michael
what for?
Jordan signs a in from 1984 to 1991, he made $6 million in his contract.
Yeah.
Now,
What is he-
at his age,
what
at
is he
60,
doing?
you know, brand names, his shoe deals, whatever, endorsements, he still gets a lot of
Wow.
this.
Nice.
Anyway, it kind of bummed me out.
Do you still have any of his shoes? Are you still
No,
wearing
no,
any
I
of his
don't.
shoes?
Oh, actually, I do have one. But it's old. I don't really use it anymore. I could probably make money off it when I sell it. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good evening from the Philippines and the United States of America. What's going on?
You asked me that already a while ago. I was thinking, what was I? Oh yeah, no. We need to explain why we're doing this on a different time than what we're saying on the intro, like Saturday and Wednesdays or something like that. We're doing this like a
Yes.
day early because the inaanak, and I think it's worth mentioning the inaanak. I don't know if what's the word inaanak. I texted you that. Do you even know what it means?
Godson?
Right. Okay. So that's not what I meant. Not godson. Basta the uh, thin
Oh, no,
hangs
no.
out.
Godfather. So Godfather, Godmother type of thing, right?
No, that's not what I meant. But she hangs out at this carindria. We hang out at this carindria. This is where we eat, etc., when we visit my son. And there's this baby on the side at the sari-sari store that they're taking care of. That every now and then she picks up and babysits.
Ah.
And for me, that's like inaanak because you're inaanak, like you're pretending that it's your kid. That's just what I meant. Not godson.
But you're not. Typically, when you say inaanak, it's like an actual godson, right? But you're not actually a godfather.
No. But the dad said, "Hey, come over to the binyag para we'll be like ninong or ninang or something like that." So does that make us inaanak? Does that make the kid inaanak for our
Well,
Filipino
yeah.
word of the day?
If you're going to
Filipino word
be
of the day.
if you're going to be a ninong and she's going to be a ninang, yes, you're going to be there. That's going to be your inaanak.
Oh, there you
So
go. Okay,
you
so
are
then that-
invited to be a godfather and a godmother.
Yeah. So that's what it means. Okay. Because I use the word. This is what it's really more about. I used the word. I wasn't really
Right.
sure what it meant, but it sounded right. So that's just what I texted you. Na the inaanak of ganyan. It's having a birthday, etc. So
Right.
it felt right. It seemed right. But now I'm asking you what it actually means.
So if the parents of the kid actually asked you to be a ninong ninang, then that would entail make you a godfather and a godmother. So that would be your godchild. How old is the kid?
1, christening. And you know where, of all places, we're going to do it, right?
No.
You didn't read the invitation? Jollibee. Of
Oh
course.
yeah. Yeah.
Where else? Where else?
Why?
Diba? It's that's the way it's done.
Well, I guess
And
so.
why would you think of like seriously? I mean, if I it's not like anti-poor or anything like that what we're trying to discuss here. That's how I would also do it. It's like you want a party? We're not gonna do it here at home. Let's just go to Jollibee. It's like the automatic, second place, other part of the house kind of idea.
Right. Right. I
Or
don't know. I don't think I've ever had a birthday in Jollibee.
any fast food. That's what I mean. It's normal here in a sense that it's a second place for a venue aside from your house.
Right.
It's more convenient. It's more like in a place where all the guests are familiar with or can go. You don't
Plus
have to like
less cleaning.
eskinita. You don't have to pass exactly. You don't have to pass through like eskinita or your security guard just to get to your house. It's more
Right. Right. Right.
convenient to just do it at a at a fast food joint,
Mm,
Jollibee in particular.
right. Well, that's cool.
And you got people cleaning up after you. Exactly.
I wonder how much that would cost though. I mean, because so is that like set up like a? I've never been to a Jollibee party,
Right.
pero is that set up like a buffet setup or is it per order?
I don't know actually, but what I do know about it is whatever it is that you order, it's
Oh,
like consumable already. Let's say it's 10,000 pesos. It's going to be 10,000 pesos worth of food. And
mm,
no, but for sure it's not going to be like a because if they do it um uh buffet style, meaning they're all on like big ass trays and then there's like little candle underneath keeping the food warm.
right.
That's
They're
not
called
it.
sternos, you ding dong, not little candles.
No, no, no. It's like they come in like really big ass plastic bags that all the rice is, wrapped up individually like a regular Jollibee order. So they're served in huge amounts, but they're
Yeah.
not served any differently from if you would order takeout.
I
So
see. I
so
see. I see. I see.
so whatever it is that you order for the venue, not sure if it's one, two. It depends on how many people, how many guests you have. That's the first concern, and then everything else is what do you want for that as follows. I
Right.
guess there's going
Right.
to be spaghetti.
It's got to be like a package deal though. But anyway, I mean,
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Whatever
yeah.
it is that you order is going to be a package deal for both the venue and the consumable food.
Right.
That's it.
That
And
makes sense.
plus, of course, you get Jollibee, right?
Oh
Some guy
God.
dresses up in a mascot
That's a fucking V. What if somebody
with
brings like a bug spray?
with with big ass gloves on. It's like, hey Jollibee, can you hold this for me for a second here? And he's like,
We had this discussion last night too, my AC and I, because or was it last night? I can't remember. But last night we ended up having Popeye's chicken. Okay.
mm,
And again, I find myself saying the exact same thing. I'm like, you know what? This is just much better than Jollibee. I don't know
oh
what it is.
really? Yeah,
Popeye's chicken is just so much better. You know,
yeah.
there's the consistency of the crispiness of the skin. Because there's parts of Jollibee where some
Mm,
parts of the skin might not be as crispy. You
right.
know,
Right, but the
tapos
taste though, is it good? I mean, you're talking about
that
consistency, but is the taste actually any better?
for Popeyes, the taste is consistency. The thing with Jollibee is the moisture of the chicken is not always consistent. Plus,
Mm,
the best way to tell about that is if you have leftovers, you put it in the fridge, right? When you take it out, Jollibee, it's guaranteed it's going to be dry as hell. At least from my experience. But Popeyes, even after I throw them both in the fryer or the air fryer,
mm,
Popeyes is always moist. I don't know what they do about it,
mm.
but the
So
flavor is always consistent.
how's it gonna stand up to number one, takeout, and yeah, consistency? What about the rice? That's the one I'm always concerned about. I almost don't care about the
Okay.
chicken sometimes. It's the rice that gets me off. It's like if the rice is not like moist enough
You mean for Popeyes?
for any fast food rest for any place.
Well, the
But
adobo rice is good for Jollibee, but you don't have that there. You said, and then
no, we don't.
apparently the Jollibee down the street from me, it's like mostly garlic fried rice. It's what it tastes like to me. It's not adobo rice. And the last time we went, I don't even know if I told you, they ran out of the spicy chicken. How can you run out of spicy chicken?
Wow, look at this Filipino American complaining about the consistency and Jollibee.
Well,
Gosh.
I like the Jollibee. I actually like their palabok a little bit. I'm not a big fan of the spaghetti because it's too sweet. The chicken, it's good. It's not as good as Popeyes, but it's good. It's definitely a lot better than KFC. I'll tell you that much.
In the meantime, back at Gotham, we got have you
What's that
tried
pandesal?
this is the latest size for pandesal. This is pandesal a la gosh, what's that ano? The one with the healthy leaves? What's that
Spinach?
leaves? No, no, no. Another version, like Filipino
Malunggay.
version of malunggay. Malunggay. What do you call this? Malunggay pandesal. You see
Why is
that?
it so small?
Exactly. That's like 2 pesos now. 2 or 3 pesos this size.
Yeah, I don't remember. But I mean, they've always been small, but that just
Mm,
looks really, really small.
Yeah, the price has never changed. It's always been like 2 or 3 pesos.
Yeah.
But yeah, the size is getting smaller. So it's the same thing with fast food. This is what we're talking about. The chicken got smaller, but the price is still the same. Can you imagine that?
Oh no, the chicken gets just like the same size over here all the time. It's like huge. Last night I only had one giant piece of chicken breast. That's it. And I had a little bit of rice. Oh, and you know what? Oh,
Mm.
dude, if you're, I'm about to tell you something that's like a godsend for you. Popeye's chicken, and then you use the Mang Tomas dipping sauce.
Mm.
Oh, booyah! Oh my god, dude! I was eating there, dipping it in ketchup and whatnot, and some habanero or whatever hot sauce.
Mm.
And I'm watching my wife literally eat her fried chicken, Popeye's fried chicken, and dipping it in Mang Tomas. And
Mm.
I'm like watching her, like, it's good. Let me
Finger
try it.
licking good.
Oh
Finger licking
man,
good.
that's right. It was so good. It was
But
very
why
good.
are you talking about her like are you jealous that she's eating it with Mang Tomas?
I've
Are you
never
still
had it with
follow
Mang Tomas.
are you still having your like no fat really limited diet? Are you still following that or did you just
It's
forget all about it?
no. I did not forget it completely. It's about 75% maybe. There's at
So
least once a week I cheat. No, I take it back. Twice a week I cheat.
I missed
Yeah,
out on your story. So your wife was eating Popeye's chicken with Mang Tomas
correct.
and you didn't have any?
We were eating dinner last night, but she was dipping it in Mang Tomas, which I've never
Uh,
had before. And then she goes like this.
uh, did you try it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. I mean, forget I'm a fan of the Jollibee gravy, but forget that.
Mm.
Now from now on, forget that. You know, my
Ah,
wife,
okay.
my wife was laughing at me after I started eating it with the Mang Tomas sauce because
Mm.
it was a brand new open that we just opened, a brand new bottle that we just opened last night, and there's like half left.
Mm, mm,
She was like, "What you
mm,
do? Drink it?" I'm like, "No,
mm.
it was just good." For those of you that don't know, Mang Tomas is typically the sauce for lechon, right? Is that correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's amazing that you guys have it there. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised, but it's one of those
Yeah, but it's
things.
like $4 for one for the
How
small
much is that?
bottle.
400 pesos?
400 pesos, roughly.
Wow.
I don't know how much it is
Wow.
over there, but it's like $3.89 here for that stupid little bottle, and so expensive.
My gulay. Jeez. Anything else to complain about
I I know, right? It's anyway, whatever. It was good. Buy some Popeyes chicken, and Mang Tomas sauce. I
yeah,
prefer
oh,
Popeyes than Jollibee. So
yeah, that's what I wanted to say about Popeyes here. Are you familiar with the word na dinudumog? Yeah, we should really start like a
no, I have
Philippine
not.
Tagalog word of the day for you. Dinudumog is the way I like to describe it is like there's like a blockbuster line uh, 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 in, like a movie line all the way around the block sometimes. So dinudumog yung Popeyes dito actually. I don't think there's a lot, but I think I live in one of the malls. I don't live in the mall. I live near one of the malls that there is actually Popeyes around.
Mm.
So yeah, so minsan when I pass there, I can see that people are pouring out of the Popeyes. And so yun, dinudumog rin siya, pinipilahan. It's aircon inside, but people actually are falling in line all the way outside
Right,
just to
right.
get their Popeyes order around here.
Speaking of restaurants, real quick, remember a couple episodes ago, I think it was like 2 or 3 episodes ago, we were talking about, or I briefly mentioned, what is it? The restaurant in Chicago. Oh man, Kasama,
Oh,
the one that was featured in that TV show that I mentioned about.
right.
So it was actually all over the social media again last night that I saw, because people are lining up to this store now, to this restaurant, for before they even open for
Fine
breakfast.
It's fine dining, right?
I'm not really sure, to be honest with you,
Or
but
fast
apparently people are lining up, and it's hundreds and hundreds of people every morning, for breakfast and stuff.
because of the show.
I guess.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's the name
But
of the show again? Where did you see it?
The Bear. It's on Hulu, but you can find it anywhere really, on Amazon or whatever. It's called The Bear. And the restaurant is the Michelin star restaurant in Chicago called Kasama. Yeah.
Nice.
Kasama. Anyway,
And husband and wife duo.
husband
or
and wife tandem, yeah. Or tandem
Filipino?
duo. Yeah. Well, no, the wife is Filipino and the husband is Korean. Or is it vice versa? It's vice versa. I forget.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so one of them is Filipino and the other one's Korean,
Right.
and they
right.
were on this TV show, and they even had a like a quick cameo, right?
Correct. Yeah, they did.
On
They
the
did.
show.
That was kind of cool. Yeah. Hey, listen, speaking of food, you guys sent
Yeah.
out this you sent me this clip as well regarding kinilaw.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've kind of been diving into this. Let's take a look at this clip real quick, if you don't mind. Because it kind of this explains kinilaw a lot better for those of you that don't know what kinilaw is, okay?
But it's like the Filipino version of sushi.
No, ceviche.
Would you say? Oh, right. Yeah. That's
It's
a more accurate.
ceviche.
Yeah,
Right.
that's right.
Give me a thumbs
Kinilaw
up
is
if
a
you can hear it.
popular pollutant in the Philippines.
You good?
And it's all about the ideal balance of fresh ingredients, a tangy marinade, and a blast of flavors that will leave you wanting more.
They have like little cameos. And listen, so is this like a specific kind of fish, or it could be any kind of fish?
Usually it's tuna,
Ah,
if I'm not mistaken.
okay.
Yeah.
Hold up.
But yes, I think it needs to be a specific
Lamig
kind of fish.
ayo. Masarap.
If you've been an avid fan of this meal for a long time,
Jesus Christ.
That's perfect.
or are new to its delightful flavors,
The chilies light your mouth up as soon as you put it in your mouth.
So kinilaw is just a mixture of onions, peppers, maybe some pickles or radishes or whatever. Not pickles, maybe tomatoes. I don't know. And it's typically used with either salmon or tuna, correct? But it's marinated on. It has ginger, and it's marinated with vinegar,
Yeah.
lemon or lime, and something else, salt and pepper. Is that correct?
Mm.
I've had it maybe once or twice. No, I've had it a couple of times, but I don't know how to make it, because every variation that I've had it always tasted different, and it tasted too similar to ceviche.
It is.
Is it supposed to be like that?
Yeah. I don't know how to make it more Filipino than it already is, and I don't know how to make it better or worse. Every single kinilaw that I've had, I don't know about this what you were about to say, but for me, every single one that I've had
Right.
has always been such a wonderful experience.
Is it typically with tuna?
Yeah, but I not always, but I think it is. Yeah, the thing that pops in my mind when I ask about kinilaw when I was with Cebuanos,
Right.
and I first tried this in Cebu, in this place called Sutukil. It's a restaurant. It's a popular like tourist restaurant there
Right.
where you sugba to something something. But so like three ways of frying and cooking things, and then
Hmm.
so it's like they turned it into a name of a restaurant, Su Tukil. But it's pretty popular almost anywhere, like even in carinderias. Point that I'm trying to say is that they were saying that it's a lot like sushi, but a little safer because it. Well, I don't know about safer, but
It's still raw.
it's raw, but it cooks in the vinegar. It's what's
Correct.
important is you let it stay on the vinegar for a while.
Correct.
You let it. I guess you use the word marinade.
Right. As it's
So I
supposed to, because it actually cooks it with the vinegar, right?
yeah, but they don't do that with sushi. I mean, if you're thinking about between eating raw food, I would say that kinilo is a little safer in a sense because it's you're killing all the germs with the vinegar.
Right.
You're cooking it with the vinegar. Yun. How's your experience? You're saying that it's different every time. Is that a good thing or
Yeah,
a
there's
bad
always
thing?
been different variations that I've had it. I've had it with salmon and tuna, but
Mm.
I guess the way it's made, it's not always the same. It's different, you know. I've only
It's
had it
like,
a number of times.
I mean, do you feel the same way when you eat, let's say, any kind of other salad, like Caesar salad? Is it always the same?
I make my Caesar salad always the same. You
Mm.
know, I mean,
Well,
there's different variations of Caesar salad, but there's always that distinct flavor, if that makes sense.
mm.
You know,
Yeah.
and
You got to try it there, obviously, like in a
correct.
restaurant there,
Yeah, no.
somebody's house.
AC's family member made it.
Uh,
It was actually really good because they actually put jalapenos in it, like fresh jalapenos, and
yeah. I don't think there are any
yeah,
rules. It's not like adobo. Like adobo has like some small rules where you can't, let's say, add this or add that, and then otherwise it turns into like hugba or
right,
whatever. Right? You know
right.
what I mean? They're so close to each other. This one would be adobo, and then this one would be hugba, which is practically the same thing, except it's not.
It's
But
not
for
though. But I mean, there's just three main ingredients for adobo that can't be changed.
yeah, but if you add, let's say, I don't know, beans or those black beans, I think
That's
it
still
turns.
fine because there's beans adobo.
Yeah, but just to emphasize the idea lang that with kinilaw, anything that's raw that you don't cook, doesn't matter what the ingredients are, it's
Right.
kinilaw.
Ah,
But with adobo, it depending on how much or what ingredient that you put in or not, it
right.
might not be adobo anymore. It might be like, I don't know, beefsteak Tagalog. Have you heard about that? Are you familiar
N-
with beefsteak Tagalog?
No, like I cook beefsteak, but I don't know anything about beefsteak Tagalog
It's not even spelled beefsteak. It's bistek. Bistek. Bistek Tagalog. Anyway,
with
but
an
it's
I.
yeah. Anyway, it's like 99% adobo, except it's called bistek Tagalog. And then there's also hugba.
Mm.
It's also like 98% adobo, except it's called hugba. It's different.
I
So,
saw a cooking show here that a guy was trying to cook adobo, but he puts oyster sauce in it. I'm like,
ayun.
what?
You
That's
can
not
call anything
adobo anymore.
you can call anything adobo.
Yeah, but it's not. Adobo's adobo. It's as simple as it gets. Why would you put oyster sauce in it?
Anyway, going back to kinilaw. So for me, anything unless there are different variations, anything that's raw and in vinegar,
Mm,
raw fish and in vinegar, and it's like some kind of fish salad going on there is
right.
kinilaw. Whew.
What I love about that food the most, to be quite honest with you, and I haven't heard anybody say this in regards to kinilaw, okay, of all the variations or discussions that I've heard about it, with all the ginger that's being put in there, when you're eating it, it acts as its own palate cleanser.
Mm. Yeah,
That's
so it's
why
not.
every bite, every taste or spoonful or fork fed you take,
Mm.
you can taste the variation of spiciness and the onion and the vinegar and the lemon, it has that refreshing taste because the garlic, the amount of ginger in there really cleanses your palate on every bite. Wow. I
So
should have my own. No, just kidding.
I was making fun of adobo a while ago. How does it work for you? What's the difference between ceviche and kinilaw for you?
So, ceviche is, I mean, kinilaw is more and the spicy side, and it has that more distinct
Uh,
um uh flavor. It's like a tangy flavor,
uh,
because of the ginger and the vinegar.
mm,
But ceviche, on the other hand, it's kind of a more, I don't know. It has like that same feel or texture, but in a more thicker version.
uh, when I asked you, I googled the difference between ceviche and kinilaw. Unlike ceviche, which uses citrus fruits as
Citrus, there you go.
souring agents, traditional kinilaw uses vinegar, which cooks the fish even without heat.
Right, right, right.
So quite literally, it does cook it. So yun, so ceviche uses citrus fruits as souring ingredients or souring agents, and
Mhm.
then traditional kinilaw uses vinegar, specifically vinegar. And then I guess it depends on what kind of vinegar that you're using. If it's
Right.
coconut vinegar versus dato puti or whatever you might use. So ceviche only began back in the 1970s. Kinilaw's employment of vinegar as a marinade also predates the custom of marinating ceviche, which began in the 1970s.
Hmm.
70s.
But try
Pre,
it if you guys get
pre
a chance.
so predates, meaning it happened before. Kinilaw's employment of vinegar as a marinade also predates the custom. So it was they were doing kinilaw way before they did ceviche.
Right, 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 right.
So which one do you like better, ceviche or kinilaw?
I like ceviche so far, to be honest with you. Just
Really?
because, yeah, well, just because I'm more used
Really?
to it, and like I said, every variation of ceviche that I've had, it's always different. I haven't had that consistent taste or flavor for kinilaw. Although in ceviche, on the other hand, every time I have ceviche, it's always the same. Like the flavor wise, it has
Mm,
it
mm.
has that standard flavoring, unlike kinilaw. So
Well, I'm all for kinilaw. Feed me anything. That's if you ask me, like, if there's anything that I would eat like every day if I could, I would go
yeah,
with kinilaw. Wow, man. But
yeah, I
maybe the
can
fact that
imagine.
I don't get to eat as much as I would like to maybe is what makes it so like ah.
I think you mentioned that before that you really love kinilaw.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and the other one next to that, which I rarely get to mention, I forget what it's called. What's a seaweed salad? Are you familiar? They also like drizzle
Oh,
it
the
with
one that looks like miniature grapes.
yeah.
Yeah, I've never had that one, but I do want to try it. They don't have that here. You
I
know?
took a picture the other day, right? Didn't I send it to you?
No, not the other day, but you sent it to me before. I just can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Forget it. But
Yeah.
no, but yeah, yeah. There's and then there's two kinds. But there's the regular, sort of the regular, I don't know, but it's a seaweed type that doesn't have like the grapes looking one, and then there's
Yeah.
then there's the one that has the grapes looking one.
Right, right, right.
I don't even know how to Google that, but grape looking seaweed.
I don't know.
And then anyway, that's the one that I like the best.
Yeah. But listen, before we get any further, I think you have the. Let's jump into our millennial word of the day real quick.
Really?
Yeah.
Hold on a sec. I thought you would never ask.
Oh, come on.
Millennial word of the day.
The- it sounds so. What is that? Like, sounds like you're sitting by the vineyards in Italy or something.
Yes, today's word of the day. I don't know what's up with the British accent, but hang on a second. Do I have
Today
it
is
or do you
millennial
have
word of the day.
it? Do I have it or do you have it?
You have it.
Ah, okay. Okay. Right. Because next time I would appreciate it if like I would be the one to do the word of the day, that I would be the one to actually cue the word of the day.
That makes sense.
Just
That makes sense. Okay, I got you. I got you.
Riz. Have you ever heard of the word Riz?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to get this one out of the way because this is like out of all the millennial word of the days that millennial words that I hear on TikTok shorts, reels, or whatever. It's like when
Right.
people say Riz, and I was like, "What the f is Riz?"
So,
Like,
so
are you trying to raise on me?
Have you heard the word Riz before, and how do people use it?
I have heard the word Riz before, but I'm not really sure how to use it.
That's so honest of you to be able to say that you don't know how to use it.
Well,
But
as far as I know, it means having charisma, having game, and all that stuff. You know what I mean?
right,
But how do you
So-
use it?
I finally Googled it. So I
Oh,
was like, what the? Where does it even come from? Like, what's the etymology of Riz? And you're right. It's a short version of charisma.
right.
And it simply means an ability to charm and woo a person. It's pronounced Riz, just like it's spelled, but the term is found its way into teen slang through TikTok and other social media. So it's as simple as that. Riz, like, are you rizzing on me? And then it turns into a verb, right? Like, are you rizzing on me? Like, are
That
you
guy's
trying
got that guy's got some serious Riz.
yeah. Charisma.
That's what it is. They just shortened the word charisma.
Yeah.
Charisma.
Right.
Yeah.
But yun nga, the way that they've
Screw that
turned
word,
it into a
man.
noun, into a verb, into an adjective, into like so many different ways of using the word
Right,
is
right.
what's making it parang like confusing on how to exactly use it. Does that make sense? Uh,
Whatever.
anyways, if ever you hear the word Riz, just like do the mental gymnastics in your head and tell yourself that Riz is actually short for charisma.
I'm not catching up on that.
Millennial word of the day.
So, can we jump into this?
Mm.
Okay.
Oh,
So I was
let me-
Googling around. Go ahead.
Sorry,
go ahead.
sorry, I got distracted. Tin sent a message, so it's lato.
What's lato?
Wait, is it lato? No, lato is. Wait, I'm more confused. Wait, hold on. Before we
Lato, lato.
yeah, hold on. No, lato is the
Oh,
the-
yeah. It's the seaweed one. That's the seaweed salad.
Okay.
For those
Is
of
it?
you who don't know what we're talking about, I'm going to
Yeah.
share it real quick. It's this one right here.
Yeah,
Um,
please.
So it's called lato. It's a seaweed salad right here. Boom. That one.
Yeah, the one on the right, huh? Not the toy that the kids are playing with.
No. Sorry. Yeah, it's this one right here. That one right there.
The one on
I've
the right
never
side.
had it before.
Ah,
What is it? Is it like a sweet salad thing or what?
the seaweed taste, the salty taste of it, and the juices of that. It's just so I don't know how to describe it. It's so perfect,
Is it
So-
juicy or whatnot?
juicy. I just want to rub it all over my body. Kind of. So good, so good.
I
Galing.
actually saw somebody eating that with kinilaw.
It brings back so much good memories, like sitting on the side of the street, side of the road, like on a carinderia, like in Bohol or Cebu, anywhere in Visayas, and you're just eating it like nobody cares. It's like 5, 10, 15 pesos. Like and people are looking at me like, what is he having? But I'm just so happy when I have it.
Mm.
Wala, yun lang.
I
So-
gotta
so
try
yeah,
that.
So thanks, Tin, for sharing that. I got confused. Lato and lato. So it's lato. The lato is the seaweed that you were sharing, that you were
Right.
showing. That's what they call
I
the.
don't think they sell that here now.
Yeah, it must be hard to ship.
Yeah.
You gotta serve that like right off the from the market or the ocean.
And it's
Gotta-
it's served cold, right?
Yeah, yeah. They had
Right.
seaweed here the other day, but it's not this lato, not this version that you just showed on the photo the
Right,
other day.
right.
So that's the picture that I thought I shared with you.
Nice.
So we got some of that, put some vinegar on it, and all the other ingredients that you mentioned a while ago, and we had quinilo salad. But it's not this one that we were looking for. It's pretty rare. I get not rare, but difficult to find if you're living in Manila, or I don't know where to find it if you're not if I'm when I'm not living in Visayas. But when I was in Visayas, like anywhere there, just off the street, even in any carinderia, it's available. And it's pretty cheap. It's like 5 pesos, usually 5, 10, 15 pesos.
For a bundle or what?
Yeah,
like the small
for
one.
an order of any salad like that. So
Ah,
it's so good. Sorry to
I'm
distract you,
excited.
but just wanted to put a ribbon on
Yeah,
topic.
that's fine.
So from Kinilaw and everything, if you could choose lato with as my specific, if you could have lato on the Kinilaw, heaven. That's my recommendation. Okay,
All
I'm
right.
done with that. Sorry
So
about that.
I was looking around online and basically came across this article. This article was written by Liliana Andrino. And how do you pronounce that? And Andrino. Anyway, it seems like she's based out of Davao in the Philippines, where that's further
uh,
down south, actually, right?
Andrino. Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
Mindanao. So Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao.
And in this article, this particular article that she wrote, it caught my eye because it's traditional Philippine courtship in modern day dating.
I
So,
want to share it, okay?
yeah, go ahead. And I wanted to ask a question about this, really. I'm sure you had a chance to take a quick gander at this, but Philippine dating has always been, I wouldn't say old fashioned, but it's definitely taking part or involves old fashioned ways, right?
Hmm. More or less.
Right. Because here, when you go on a date here, or for example, you're going out on a date with a girl, you meet somebody, you go on a date. Sometimes it automatically means that your boyfriend or your girlfriend. Sometimes, not all the time. Okay.
Hmm.
Unlike the Philippines, where you're literally taking steps to get to know this person first before you start dating. Here in the US, sometimes, or for the most parts, when you're dating somebody, that's the time you spend together getting to know each other. As opposed into the Philippines, you get to know each other first, and then you become boyfriend girlfriend. It's like in a way, kind of like I don't know if I'm making a good comparison here, where it's kind of like an interview process, so to speak, or a trial period to see if it's going to be a good match. And then
Yeah.
you guys decide to be a boyfriend, girlfriend, or be in a relationship, so to speak.
But of course, there's fast forward versions also. There's the quick versions also. But yeah, generally.
Right, right. In the Philippines, when you're courting somebody, you're not just courting the Filipina.
Mm.
You're literally courting everybody else around her.
Mm.
That's the family members, the friends, especially the best friends. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And it's here, on the other hand, it's so intimate and so one on one, but not necessarily intimate actually, because well, the dating scene here has just been horrible. It just sucks. From what I see, I don't have that problem anymore since I already have mine, and I'm a winner. I'm married. I married the right one.
And you're talking out of experience. Like, is this what you see with your kids? Is this what's going on with your teenagers?
Yeah. It's gotten worse, to be honest with you. Even before I got married, the dating scene here has been horrible. It's just like so fast paced, you know?
Mm-mm.
And it's like the dating scene here, the way of getting to know and having that connection is what? Getting into bed together already. You know? It's like it's gotten to be the most common and the number one denomination to see if you're compatible with each other. Not to say that it's the most important thing, but sex does play a huge factor in regards to who you're going to end up dating here. In the Philippines, on the other hand, from what it seems like, maybe it seems like the emotional compatibility needs to happen first before anything else. Do you agree with that statement or no? Oh, I lost you.
Sorry, I coughed a while ago and I put myself on mute. Forgot to
No, you're fine.
unmute myself. No, I was just thinking that because you were saying something about once you see each other, and I get distracted because there was something opposite of this that I wanted to share with you the other day. Because that's juxtaposed to this article, which is basically courting. The other
Right.
version of this, and there was no article or just the idea of like cancel culture. Nowadays, right? The one that's like total opposite of this, but it's not like the romantic side or the dating side. So maybe we'll talk about that later. But that's just like the opposite of it, because I'm thinking when you get into the dating, what so many different factors of this, because there's so many, like it depends on where you're coming from or what your purpose is when you get into the dating scene. A lot of people just get into it because they're lonely. It's not because of really a romantic interest.
Right.
And so it just becomes convenient. There's just like the front, back, up and down of the scene, of the dating scene nowadays, in a sense that you can just get in and out of it, get into it at a snap of a finger, and then you can also cancel yourself and get out of it at a snap of a finger.
So
I
it's
think.
gotten to be that available in the dating scene wise in the Philippines, is what you're saying.
Well, no, I can't really speak for the Philippines. I'm just thinking
General wise.
generally, globally, yeah. But for the Philippines, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's like nooks and crannies here that it's all like ultra modern, and then there's nooks and crannies where it's ultra traditional also. So it's really hard to generalize what's going on in the Philippines.
Yeah, I mean, this article has kind of brought up some interesting pointers to me, especially in regards to dating in the Philippines. Like I said earlier, you're not just dating the girl per se. You
Yeah.
have to kind of take
Yeah.
the time to impress the family, the
Yeah.
friends, and so forth and so forth. Right?
But I think if we're looking at dating advice in general, and if you
Yeah.
want to start, I mean, I think this article is a good start. If let's say you're a foreigner or you're a Western person that's trying to figure out how to get into the minds of Filipinas in general,
Right.
or Filipinos, men or women, I think generally we want to think of ourselves as traditionalist, or with this kind of article that
Mhm.
proposes, right, in general. And then there's also, like I said, the fast forward version. If let's say you live more urban, it might be more urbanized. There might be a more urbanized fast forward version. Whatever. I mean, it's you and your foundation for the relationship, I guess.
Mhm.
And it's dictated by what kind of couple are you, I think, right?
Yeah.
But in general, I think it'd be more interesting if we narrow it down to being high school, where everything is sort of fast forwarded, high school or even college, where
Right.
everything is
Right.
sort of, it's more interesting because everything is like all the hormones, all the juices, all the
It
everything
is
all
because
happening.
I mean, that obviously when you're younger, everything first time stuff, everything is almost the first time and whatnot. But as you get older, at least here in the States, I don't know how it is in the Philippines, the dating scene gets to be too repetitive and it gets really old, to be honest with you. That's how I felt, to be honest with you. When before I met my wife, I spent about 2 years
You notice
kind
a lot
of
of the A lot of the millennial word of the days that we do are like shortcut versions of whatever the word might be, like Riz that we talked about a
Right.
while ago, right?
Right,
So
right,
it's
right,
like the
right.
dating is so like monotonous, and they want to lessen the repetitive nature. Let's, like, oh, he has so much charisma, instead of just saying it like that. Look, he's got good Riz.
He's got Riz.
He's got
Whatever.
Riz.
Shut up. Bet.
Diba? So a lot of it is really now that's another word. I don't know what the etymology for the word bet is, but
Right.
it's like a lot of it is like fast forward, get into it right away. And that's just my rant about that. What were you saying about your wife?
No, no, no. Like before I met my wife, I took the time to. I mean, I spent about 2 years probably just going around the dating scene. With all honesty, I got bored
Mm,
because it was the same thing over and over and over. Not exactly the same thing, but it's the sequence is the same. You go to a place, you meet somebody, you spend the time to get to know them. If it doesn't catch your interest that much, maybe you try to hook up with that person, yada yada yada, and that's pretty much it.
mm.
And it's the whole process again, trying to find somebody. And it felt rushed because it's so judgmental. Not necessarily well by looks, by characteristics, but how do you really find out who you're interested in after a couple of dates only?
Yeah,
Unlike in sorry.
I don't know. I would just I heard somewhere that one of the best ways to make friends, meet people, and really find out about the character of the person is
Mhm.
to be with them in different scenarios.
Right, right.
Like,
It's funny you say that. One of the paragraphs that was actually stated in this article is it takes a lot of patience, effort. And you need to be somewhat creative to make sure that you figure out a way to show your affections in different ways.
mm,
Which basically means you can't just keep doing the same thing while you're courting or dating this girl.
mm, mm.
You know,
There's a word that comes to mind. The opposite of this article, though, I think, or the negative. I mean, if you want to, I don't know how to characterize it, but the word pakipot comes to
Mm,
mind. Are you familiar
yeah.
with that word? If
yeah,
you're
yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah, 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 yeah. Like kind of
either
in a way,
that,
kind of like a tease.
either that, or you're just making life difficult. You just want to make life difficult. Pakipot ka pa eh. Parang
Well,
gusto mo
that's the
naman.
thing, though. See, the way this article shows the courting in the Philippines and how it applies to modern dating and whatnot is you
Mm,
take the time to build the relationship first with the girl, and then you
mm,
decide are you compatible enough to have that relationship and explore everything else life might have to offer.
mm,
Versus here in the States, when you go on a date, sad to say, it only takes a snap of a finger or a spit on the wall for you to decide if
mm.
you're going to see somebody or decide to take the time to get to know somebody. It sucks. It's so judgmental, you know?
This is a word that I've never really come across before. Pasaguli.
Yeah. I don't know what that means, to be honest with you, and I haven't had the chance to Google it.
Oh wait, even before that, there was another one that caught my attention. Sorry.
Very fine.
Anyway, yeah. Anyway, that I didn't get to read this part yet, but yeah, riddle me this: if I hurt the most when lost, yet also when not had at all. Huh? I
Well,
can be given to many or just one. What am I? The answer
love.
is love.
Wow. That's the thing. Love here in the States eventually comes later on. You know what I mean?
Mm. So it's like
In
get
the
together,
Philippines,
you hook up, and then if you fall in love, then you're good.
correct. In the
Yeah.
Philippines, on the other hand, when you're dating, you build the love first before anything else. Granted, I'm not saying it's like that for everybody in the Philippines because the dating scene has gotten to be more westernized as well, where it's more and more common that people do hook up for whatever reasons as easy as it is in the Philippines. You know what I mean?
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
But in most cases, it seems like the whole courtship and the courtship ritual, so to speak, still plays a major effect in relationships over there. Now, I think this kind of flows into the whole passport bros as well, because most men here are looking for that, from what it sounds
Mm-mm.
like, based on the whole passport bros type of thing, right?
Mm-mm.
But I think what's not being mentioned there, women do want that as well here. Okay, it seems like women here want that as well, more and more
Mm.
so, actually. It's just that I believe that some women here are more inclined to justify things for their potential partner by what they do for a living, how
Mm.
they how are they going to be able to support the relationship, uh,
Mm.
maybe looks. I don't know. Who's to say?
The word escapes me, but it reminds me of this idea where if you have like two conflicting ideas running at the same time, so you want a traditional courtship, yada yada yada. I want to know that the person loves me, and I also want to be in love with the person.
Mhm.
But yet at the same time, as soon as you see a red flag, or as soon as you see, I don't like this, and like,
I don't
cancel,
understand that. That's the hard
done,
thing here.
done. So
Yeah.
there's so many options, like on how to think about things. Like back in the days, back in the 30s, you only had one way to do things,
Right.
slow and easy, and make
Right.
it difficult for the person, for
Right.
example. But now you got a choice. You want to do it fast, you could do it fast. You want to do it slow, you could do it slow. So now you have two conflicting attitudes or philosophies or ideas in your mind, and they're conflicting on
Mhm.
what you really want and what you actually get.
Now, if I was to ask you, what do you think? I mean, you've been in the Philippines for a very long time, but you did have dating experience here in the States. Okay.
Mm,
It granted, it's not the same anymore from when you had somebody you were dating somebody here,
mm.
but when I've never had a dating experience in the Philippines. So I'm asking you this. After going back to the Philippines, has the dating scene for you, or the adaptation to dating scene in the Philippines, an easy transition, or no?
Same.
Really?
Same. It's funny because I was just about to say maybe we're sort of being misled by the whole idea of what you see, let's say maybe on TikTok or online. Because yeah, in real life, and maybe I'm living under a rock and I don't hang out with the coolest people.
Hmm.
But I think generally it's the same, actually.
Hmm.
Honestly.
That's kind of interesting that you say that.
Parang we're discussing this like as if there's like a different generation, and there's like high schoolers and college students now
Right.
that we can't like relate with, and I have no idea what the dating scene is with there. But when I moved back here, I mean, no, let's even go back further. When I was in the 6th grade and I moved there, I felt
Mhm.
like the dating scene, whatever that might have been back in elementary, was kind of the same. I mean, it just it didn't last that long, in a sense na hindi pakipot yung girl. Like if
Yeah.
the girl
Yeah.
didn't like me, I would find out right away that the girl didn't like me.
Right. Right. Right.
But doesn't mean that I fall out of love any faster or
Correct.
slower. And then
Right.
when I moved back here, practically the same. Na parang I maybe that's probably just the difference, really. If I'm talking about culture wise, not whether it's traditional or non-traditional dating.
Mhm.
Parang the difference is only in the states, or the one or two people that I tried to go out with. I'd find out sooner or faster whether
If
the
they're
person
into you
liked
or
me or
not.
not, if they
Yeah.
were
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
me or not.
Yeah.
In the Philippines, medyo parang pakipot pa eh. Parang still trying to
Well,
can't
that's the
figure
thing,
out
though.
if she
I think
really
that's what I
likes
was
me or
saying.
not.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. In the Philippines, people tend to take more time to see if they're going to emotionally match eventually.
But
Does that
there's
make sense?
that. There's the idea of knowing if the person likes you or not. That's I think a totally different chapter once you get into the courting or the dating part.
Yeah. Yeah.
Parang it's maybe that's where the difference is. I think I'm only talking about parang surface level icing on the cake
Yeah.
kind of thing. But
Right.
once the deeper relationship, or the once you decide to start to move forward with the relationship, in terms of getting beyond friendship or want to hook up. Parang maybe that's where the difference is.
Yeah. I mean, dating in the Philippines, I'm sure, and dating here, I think I mean, the bottom line goal obviously is the same, where you're trying to find your partner. I
Uh,
think the approach is the biggest difference there. You know, um, in the Philippines, it seems like the emotional connection is prioritized first. Is prioritized, obviously.
well, I don't know if I would go as far as saying that. I mean, I neither confirm nor deny.
Right.
But what I would hear a lot here is like, what would my friends say if I dated this person?
Well, that's part of the whole emotional connection because
Yeah.
women in the Philippines pretty much are really more connected with their friends,
Yeah.
right?
There's a bit more care about like sort of the bigger picture versus, I like this guy and I don't care what
Mm,
my friends think. This is what
right.
I want. It's more individualistic, but here there's more like, what would my family think? What would my friends think?
Right, right. That's
There's a
later
little bit
on
more of
here,
there's a little bit more of that. Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Here it's
Yeah.
all about building the one-on-one relationship first
Mm,
and then combining everything else after. Obviously when the seriousness of the relationship happens, like when you guys
but
move in together or whatnot. Where as opposed to in the Philippines, it's all about, from what it sounds like or what she's saying as well, that the seriousness and the connection of everything else in the relationship is prioritized, right?
yeah, yeah, it's nice to hear that, but I don't think it's like that, like 100%. I'm like,
Correct.
yeah, maybe, but
Yeah.
not. It's not. I don't think the difference is so palpable that you can cut it with a butter knife.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's like, yeah, it's a little bit different, but it's hard to say because I'm also only talking about, you know, 20, 30 years ago, you know, kind of experience.
Right.
And I'm only talking about like current experience as far as like what I see on social media or what I see like kids are doing nowadays. But I think a lot of it is still the same. There's still a lot of, sabi natin, pushback. I mean, it's not like you could
Hmm.
just date. There's just more options, I think. And then
It's funny you
way
say that.
there's just
One
more
thing I know.
ways
Sorry, go ahead.
for
Sorry.
for other people to find out what's going on.
Right. Right.
Yun lang yun. Like, so if I'm dating this person, like other people are going to find out like right away.
Right.
I think that's just the added consideration, with social media, cameras, and all that.
The flip side
Yun
on
lang.
that, though, for
But
somebody younger here dating, it has gotten to be, from what I've noticed, okay?
and you probably have more experience because you got teenagers, and I only
Yeah,
see.
it feels like it's slower. They don't do much. They communicate mostly through their gadgets. If they're not texting with each other,
Mm,
they'll jump into some game online game, and like, to them that's
mm,
spending time together already. Not that I'm saying it's wrong or anything. To me, it just feels more impersonal. I'm not
mm,
going to say who, but they spend so much time playing this one game together, and it's like it feels like to them it just feels like it's so impersonal to me. You're just playing a game, and you're not
yeah.
really talking about anything serious.
No, but parang being on the gadget itself is not a factor. It's kind of like sitting around, you're reading an article, and I'm reading an article, I'm reading something, and the person that I'm with is reading
Yeah,
something. Parang yun na yun eh. Like, it's not like what you're doing, the activity is not the factor, the gadget is not the factor. The fact that the other person's there is what the
that
bonding
could
is
be.
all
Yeah,
about, I guess.
I see your point. I see your point.
I mean,
Yeah,
remember I told you the story about my kid being, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old. He's on Viber back in the days when we were still allowed to be Vibering each other.
yeah.
He's sitting there like doing his thing, and then I'm here doing my thing, and if I'm not on camera and we're not talking, he's not saying anything to me. I'm not asking
Mm-hmm.
him about like his game that he's playing on his other gadget or what. He just knows that I'm there, like, and then I'm on camera. If I stand up to leave,
Then
he's
he'll
like,
ask, "Where are you going?"
Dad, are you there? Like, yeah, I just went off camera for a second, then I come back. It's like, oh, okay. He just wants to know that I'm there.
Right, right.
So, I guess time, distance, and the gadget is like a non-factor now.
Yeah.
It's really
Like I
more
said,
about who am I
I
spending the time with.
I don't think it's a bad thing, but to me it just felt like a little bit impersonal. I guess it's
It's
because in our generation, it's
it's
just
weird.
more. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, it's very weird.
Pero the thing is, the gadget turns out to be a non-factor.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah, right. You're right.
it's like
I
it's
see
not
your
even.
point. I see your point.
But I'm just saying that intellectually, but like deep in my heart and experience, it's still
Yeah.
so awkward. Parang, shouldn't we be talking about something? Or shouldn't we be doing something together? Parang ganon. Or shouldn't we be playing a video? Like, let's play Netflix or Hulu
Right,
or
right.
pop something on. Wala. No, it's like my kid is just fine that we're not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's cool that he's just sitting there and I'm just sitting here doing my thing. Even when I go there to visit him,
Right.
he's not necessarily, he appreciates it, I think, when I ask him about his game or what, but it's like it doesn't really, as long as I'm there and not doing my and not talking to somebody else, I think that's where it draws the line.
Mm,
If I
mm,
pick up my
mm.
phone and start texting someone, it's like, Dad, what are you doing? Like parang he can feel the connection, the non-verbal connection.
Well, that's one thing that I noticed too with the younger generation nowadays. When they're dating, they don't really talk to each other that much, though. You know,
Like maybe the question of how do I feel when this person and I are silent together? Maybe that's what they're trying to figure out.
the newer generation, the millennials and the Gen Zs are very impatient.
Mm,
It's like they're always constantly needing to do something, but they just don't do it. I don't know if that makes sense, but it just seems that way. You know,
they don't do it.
yeah,
Yeah.
they don't do much. It just seems like it.
And they're
I- I'm
okay with
I'm I'm
not doing
talking about
much.
relationship, okay? Like in their relationship. Again,
Mm.
this is coming from observation. I'm not saying everybody. Relax, people.
I don't think it's about being tamad and not doing it. That's not the issue, though. I think the issue is more about how do I feel about the silence
Yeah,
and
that
the
could be it.
nothingness and spending silence with this person. I think it's what it's more about.
Yeah, yeah.
And speaking of silence, and we've run out of time already. I just
Yeah.
wanted to say that one of the things that this article also mentions, and we didn't really get a chance to talk about, is the harana.
Yeah, nobody does that anymore. Serenades? Nobody. That doesn't exist anymore.
I love how she says that music is like your wingman.
Right,
Music can
right,
still be your wingman when it comes to modern courtship.
right, right.
You don't need to sing in
Do
front of
people
her.
even do modern Harana court or serenades? Maybe I think it's like what when they do create a playlist or something.
Yeah, nga. So you don't actually have to sing and gather your
Right.
banda friends with you to
Yeah.
sing a song in front of her, but you can just put a put a put a playlist together on Spotify and here listen to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. But yeah, interesting article. So look into it. It's on Medium.
Yeah. Just
Liliana Andrino.
yeah. Just Google Al Liliana Andrina, like Noel said, and you can find her articles on Davao Women. I'm hoping to actually reach out to her and maybe be able to interview her because she's got some pretty interesting articles that I want to dive into.
Forgot to say the title of the article is Traditional Philippine Courtship in Modern Dating.
Yeah. Well, I think we are done for the day. We are good to go. Anything else you want to add on?
Yeah, we're good. Yeah. It's just it just occurred to me like you like talking about passport bros and dating in the Philippines.
Jesus Christ. It's not that I like talking about it, but it pops up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Like like I didn't realize you're more of a relationship kind of guy.
I'm very much so of a relationship kind of guy. My
Yeah.
longest relationships in my life is over a decade. Okay,
No,
not
I
a lot
mean,
of people can say that. I spent
just
half
like,
my life with relationships.
my list of stuff that I could be talking about on the podcast one of these days is like, the Tesla Cybertruck, the flaws of the Tesla Cybertruck, or
Well,
you know,
you gotta give me heads up so I can read
the
up on it.
the latest on the International Space Station and what they're going to do about it. Nah, but
Not like, are they holding hands nowadays?
right, exactly,
You
exactly.
know what
So,
though?
but
That's the thing though. I'm a kid. I'm a '90s kid, and I was a big fan of rom-coms.
mm,
You know, those kind of movies. I watched a lot of rom-coms. It was
mm.
insane.
Remember that time that I wanted to talk about the pyramids with you and like how it could be like an energy source or what? And you're like, yeah, whatever. Like,
No,
jeez.
we did talk. No, actually, we never talked about it. We never talked about it. Anyway,
What?
whatever. We'll get there. Just give me a heads up. You gotta give me. You can't just bring up. No, we'll talk about that later.
I'm not complaining. I'm
I
just
know,
saying
I
that
know.
that's, the look and feel of like, what is the flip side podcast about? Oh, okay.
It's about personal lives, Filipino comparisons.
But
Filipino or Philippine comparisons?
I think it's good though that I think it's still a lot the same. And yes, of course, there's Filipino culture and nuances here and there. There's
Mm,
difference, but I think a lot of it, a lot, and this is my little bow on that dating topic and relationships and everything. I would dare to say that I think it's pretty much the same a lot everywhere. I mean, we're all human and we want to be respected and we want to have a good relationship with other people. And then there's just, cultural differences here and there, maybe, but not so much. I think the human aspect of it is more, just treat her like a human. Like, don't worry about her being Filipina or Japanese or what. It's
mm.
like, just treat him or her like a human, and then the cultural stuff will come second. That's the way I think
Take
about it.
take the time though. Take the time to get to know the person first.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's right. And then
that's the
don't.
biggest lackluster thing.
Are we giving relationship advice now? Don't take it like hook, line, and sinker. Leave some for yourself.
Right, right.
I mean, and keep your eyes open. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's another topic.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for tuning in. See, Noel just froze there, so I guess I'm gonna close it out. Um, we apologize that we did actually record earlier, went on earlier this a day early today, but we are back to regular schedule on Wednesday. Check us out. Anything else you want to add, Noel?
Trying to get my camera back on. No,
Yeah.
nothing. I think that's about it.
Anyway, well, we are done for the day. Guys, thank you very much. We'll get to the comments as always. We appreciate it. Please continue your support. Again, this is The Flip Side with Jay and Noel. My name is Jay.
Name's Noel, and here I am spinning around in my flying saucer.
We'll catch you guys later, guys.
On the flip side. Peace
Bye-bye.
out.
Catch us on the next episode, Wednesday, 6:30 a.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Philippines. This is The Flip Side with Jay and Noel.